Hello, everybody. This is Brian Kinney, and I am so glad to be with you. Now, as promised, when we did our last presentation, me and Yvette, we experienced a lot of technical difficulties. So we said we're going to give you a PowerPoint presentation. We're going to discuss the home office. So most of you know me. I've been in business since 1980. I've actually worked for nobody other than myself since 1980. I've owned several businesses. I've owned a tax company. I've owned a real estate company. My family, we've owned a couple of restaurants as well as some online businesses. But today I want to introduce you to a very good friend of mine, Yvette Jeter. She happens to be one of the leading tax experts in the nation when it comes to small businesses. And she's a very highly sought after tax expert. In fact, if you're in the Los Angeles area, I believe it's going to be on the 16th. Yvette will tell you a little bit more about it. She's going to be speaking with the ladies in pink, and you might want to attend. She'll be glad to have you there. So without further ado, I want to go ahead and let Yvette tell you a little bit about herself.
Hey guys, thank you so much, Brian, for having us, and we really appreciate it. My name is Yvette Jeter, as Brian said. My company is called Creative Tax in Long Beach. We have been around for about 20 years in the Long Beach community, and we work very well with small businesses, multi-level marketing, businesses of gross of 2 to 3 million, and also startups. So I am grateful to be here. Business use of home, office and home deduction is a powerful deduction that taxpayers most likely know nothing about, and or their professionals are a little bit unnerving, or just don't want to take it because of the complications. So we're just kind of going to go into a couple things. I'm going to read things to you so that you guys might be able to refer back to it. And I am in my office, so if you see people walking by or the phone's ringing, just to let you know that business is still going on here in Long Beach. And so we will get started.
Okay, I recommend that you get a pen and pencil, take some notes. Unfortunately, there won't be a question and answer period because we're not doing this live, but we are in a very relaxed atmosphere. And like I said, Yvette is hard at work at her office in Long Beach, so you might have some interruptions here and there, or you might get a little feedback, but this is what happens when we are doing things live. Now, as you can tell, I'm in my home office, and that's what this is about, the home office deduction. So Yvette is getting ready to break this deduction down for you.
All right, everybody. So in setting up your business, you basically have 3 choices that we are given. And one of them is incorporating, partnerships, or sole proprietors. When choosing the entity for your business, you at the very least should consider the following: startup costs, additional paperwork, annual fees, liability exposure, and tax benefits. 5 things you should know to do to document and to prove that you have a legitimate and bona fide business. And this is really important.
Now I'm going to just interject a little something here. She mentioned the different entities. We're going to assume that most of you are not a corporation or a limited liability company, but we will cover those two in a separate presentation. So today we're going to focus on the home office deduction for those of you who are sole proprietors. And as you said, there's at least 5 things that you should do to document and prove that you have a legitimate and bona fide business, because that is the key. Those 2 words, legitimate and bona fide. And so these are the things that you need to do to assure that when you go before the IRS, They know that you are legitimate and bona fide. Okay, Yvette, continue. I'm sorry about that.
All right. I just want to hop in. What Brian said is extremely, extremely important. Some people mix hobbies and businesses together. And if you look like a hobby and it talks like a hobby, you are a hobby. And those are under total different rules. And so we want to mitigate that. And in order to do that, we have to keep you informed. So it really is important to keep these 5 things in your mind. First of all, a business name. And when you create a business name, you should file a DBA with your county. You should get a tax ID number. And we can help you with all doing that. You need to maintain and have separate bank accounts exclusively for your business. You should have a written business plan. It doesn't need to be complicated. You know, we want to keep these things really simple, and we don't want to overwhelm you, but we just want to make sure that you operate in the manner that you need to operate in order to receive these benefits. When you decide to go into business, you're able to deduct numerous of expenses. You can write off your trade of publications, your advertisement, phone usage, entertainment, meals, car, travel, and the list is just extensive. However, remember, it's very important not to deduct personal items. So I always say when I give these seminars is that the IRS, anything that's fun, they are going to look at a scan. So buying office supplies, that's not fun. But eating and driving and going on travels and events, those things are fun. So you want to make sure that you do not deduct personal items. This includes everything associated with your personal residence, regardless if you are renting or purchasing. When you meet the requirements of the home office deductions, you are allowed to convert a portion of your non-deductible expenses as deductible expenses. And that's the name of the game, folks. Normally, expenses related to your rental residence, such as your rental payments, repairs, insurance, utility expenses, are not deductible. If you're purchasing your home mortgage and property taxes are deductible as below-line deductions.
Now,
and I think Brian is going to offer more insight on that for y'all.
Yeah, so basically what she is saying is that we have 2 groups of people. You have those that are renting and those that are purchasing. If you're renting, normally you can't write off anything that's associated with your rental unless you qualify for the home office deduction. If you are purchasing, then you have basically 2 things that you can deduct, and this is on what we call a Schedule A. We're not trying to make you a tax practitioner, but it's also what we call a below-line deduction. So you can deduct your mortgage interest and your property taxes as below-line deductions. But things such as your gas, your water, electricity, repairs, and then if you're buying the property, you have what is called depreciation. Renters could have insurance as well. I pay renters insurance. These things are normally non-deductible expenses. However, if you can qualify for the home office deductions, you can write off a portion of all of these expenses. Now, remember, you're taking expenses that you normally cannot deduct. You're taking a portion of them and converting them into a business expense. And folks, that's powerful. That's a very powerful tool. Okay.
Yeah, it is extremely powerful. You're right.
Okay. But for you that own property, those of you who own property, I want you to understand, for you especially, this is extremely powerful as well, because you can convert a portion of your mortgage interest and property taxes to above line deductions. Now, as I stated before, normally these are below line deductions, but when you qualify for the home office, you can take a portion and put it into what we call above line. So let me kind of break it down for you. Below line deductions are good to have, but above line deductions are good to have. In other words, much, much better.
Right.
Much, much better. Okay?
Yeah.
But this is the best part. You don't lose any of that deduction. A portion goes above line and a portion goes below line, so you still get the whole deduction. So whether you're buying or renting, having the home office deduction is a very powerful far as tax strategy for paying less money. Okay, Yvette?
Right. These expenses, when combined with your normal business deductions, can really radically reduce your tax liability. To meet the requirements of obtaining a home office deductions, there are 2 tests that you must meet. And pay attention. Test number 1 is the exclusive use test. This test, you must meet a specific area of your home, only for the business or your trade. This area must be exclusive. It can be a room or a separate identifiable space. The space does not have to be marked off with a permanent partition. Now, this is critical. You will not meet this test if you use this area in question for any type of personal use. So that means keep the kids out. Don't use it for anything not related to your business or trade, period. Test number 2 is the regular use test. To meet the regular use test, you must meet a specific area of your home for business on a continuous and regular basis. Incidental or occasional use will disqualify this deduction. Office and home deduction is really complicated, and but we wanted to kind of give you a glimpse of how important it is for you to set up your business, for you to maintain the 2 tests, and at least to have somewhat of a general knowledge so that when you approach your tax person, then you might want to mention to them about the home office deduction, and you have enough of information to be armed with so that when they say to you that you don't qualify, you know you do if you've met these tests. And we welcome you, if you have any questions, to certainly give us a call. Let me just tell you that I've known Brian for quite some time, and I am going to extend to him, if anyone sees this broadcast and they have additional questions via the telephone, I will give them 15 minutes of free consultation. Just give us a call, set an appointment. We would be happy to do that. If you're in the Los Angeles area, you might want to come by, and we can take care of you. So that's kind of like my take on that. But please be mindful and just know that these are extremely powerful tools.
Now, before we close, I will tell you we did experience a little technical difficulties, so I'm going to have to edit out some parts. So you might see some things a little shaky, and like I said, you might get a little feedback. Before we close, I do want to point a couple of things out. You know, this information that Yvette is giving you is very powerful. I do know that there are some CPAs out there that might try to tell you not to take this deduction because it will flag an audit, but I assure you, the facts are this is not true. We have been successfully getting these deductions for our clients for many, many years. Like I said, I ran a tax office from 1992 all the way up to 2008. and I turned my clients over to Yvette because she's the only person that I trusted to handle their business for them. And I can tell you now, we've been in many audits. I've been in many audits. She has been in many audits. And we have won every one of them when it comes to the home office deduction. So don't let anyone tell you you can't take it. Now, there's a lot of information that we left out, and we will be giving you some more information on that at a later date. But don't let any certified public accountant tell you they can't. Remember, CPA stands for Certified Public Accountant. That does not mean that they are an expert tax practitioner. They should know taxes because it's a part of accounting, but that does not necessarily mean they understand taxes. Yvette is an expert tax practitioner. I am also, but my interest these days is more into the area of social media marketing. Now, Yvette, I twisted her arm, and like she said, if you call her, here's her number. She will give you up to 15 minutes free consultation. But also, if you are watching this before January 16th and you're in the Los Angeles area, Yvette's going to be speaking with the ladies in pink. And so, Yvette, before we close, could you tell them a little bit about the event that you're going to be speaking at on the 16th?
Yeah, that is, I like the way Brian said it, the ladies in pink. So this is a Mary Kay event. I've been speaking there for the last 5 years on their small businesses. We also kind of expanded it not only just for Mary Kay, but for all women and people in business that need information. And so that you can get more information and register at on Facebook at Yvette, the tax lady. You'll find the registration form. They're very easy. It's free. It's in the evening from 7 to 8:30. You'll enjoy it. It's entertaining, and you'll have a lot of fun and get some information. So if you're in the area, you're welcome to come.
Well, thank you, everyone, for watching this short presentation. Like I said, there's a tremendous amount of information that we did leave out, but in future webinars and future presentations as we move out the year, we'll be going more into detail on this. We'll talk to those of you who have children about hiring your children. Okay. We're going to, in fact, you might have remembered in the presentation how when Yvette said that things such as that are fun are normally not deductible. Well, there is a situation where fun things are deductible, and we're going to talk about meals, travel, and how to actually write off a vacation. But as I said, those are things that we're planning down the line. I'm also going to be interviewing individuals who are experts in video production, because videos are so powerful right now, especially if you're trying to market through Facebook or YouTube. I will be having individuals come on that are going to speak to you about branding, which is important. This is going to be a lot of different topics, all related to running your business, especially for those of you who are online entrepreneurs. So once again, I wanted to say thank you and bye-bye. Yvette, you want to give them a parting word?
Yeah, bye, everybody. Thank you so much. We're waiting for your phone calls and excited to help have a good tax year.